Well, it's monthly outlook day, and we're looking at, of course, April 2018. I think it's safe to say that we've had a very, very remarkable March of 2018. Overall, we've had two major record-breaking cold spells, and believe it or not, we could be talking about a beast from the east 3.0 by the time we reach around Easter, of course, which is next Sunday. So a week on Sunday, we're talking Easter, and we could be talking about some snow in the mix as well, as the flow once again comes back in from Scandinavia. The good news is, of course, that each outbreak of cold will be a little bit less severe than the previous, and of course it's pretty obvious why that's the case. With the increased sun angle, the shortening of days, and of course we will have had the clocks pushed forward an hour as well by that stage. So, but very interesting. It looks as if we are going to have a wintry end to the month. Now, quite often, folklore says that and old wives' tales say that March goes in like a lion, out like a lamb. Well, that might not be the case actually this year. We could be talking about out like a lion just the same as it did come in. Thankfully, just not quite as severe. But I think it's going to be very interesting when all is said and done, looking back at the overall month, how it compares to March of 2013, which of course was the coldest since 1962. What may temper this month overall is the spells of mild in between the cold, even though we had a outstandingly cold open to the month of March. We had another very, very impressive beast from the east just a week or so ago, but the temperatures at Fyvie Castle in Aberdeenshire just reached 15.1 Celsius, which was Scotland's warmest of the year so far. And of course, when you've got these milder spells of 2 or 3 days, that can chip away at the overall anomaly for the month. So it's going to be interesting to see, when all is said and done, how this compares with previous cold marches, but it certainly will be one for the record books. Many parts of the British Isles has not only seen the snowiest March day, even the snowiest February day, but also the coldest up and down the British Isles. We've had many places see their coldest temperatures during the daytime, may I add. Not at night so much, but certainly during the daytime. So, mild at the moment. It turns a little bit cooler as we go through the weekend. And then as we go towards the second half of next week, we start to open up the floodgates yet again to Siberian air, or at least Scandinavian air. So you can see here, this is off the ECMWF 850 millibar temperature anomalies. And you can see here that it's cooler than normal across the UK. But then, as you notice here, as we push through next week, this is when we start to see the cold coming back in once again. So the cold air initially builds over Scandinavia. We're trying to pull in some milder air, if you notice here, from the southwest, from the Atlantic, and of course that would be indicative of an area of low pressure. And then in comes that next surge of cold from the east. Pretty remarkable, if you ask me. And that is going to take us into the early part of April here. Looking at April overall, I still think we're going to lean on the cold side of things. Let's look at the CFSV2 weeklies, week 1 and 2, and unfortunately it only goes out to week 1 and 2 because it's actually updating as I speak. But notice here that week 1, upcoming 7 days, is cooler than normal. Then that anomaly gets a little bit more intense as we go into week 2. So of course that's the model, the CFSV2, seeing that cold surge coming back in from the east-northeast once again. Let's see if the monthly is updated here, so for the month of April overall, and you can see here that the CFSV2 is still indicating, this has been relentless right through pretty much all of March, that the month of April would be cooler than normal overall. So I think we need to content ourselves with a cool spring this year overall. No real major warmth in the mix, and hopefully by the time I get that month from now, we're talking about the month of May, things will start to warm up somewhat. Hope you have a great day, and I'll have the written version of the April outlook later on this afternoon. Bye for now.